Okay, we are started with Lightning. Our first Lightning card is the Cycle for the Lightning 1-cost backups. We've talked about these already.
Possibly
so
the
we'll move
worst
on.
of them all because Lightning, but yeah.
That's not its fault.
Hey, Lightning needed backups.
Yeah, Lightning
Hey,
needed
honestly,
a thing.
it's one of the best artwork.
Well, yeah, those bubbles were.
Oh yeah. This man's wearing red and black. Damn, color contrast.
Daisy.
Give me that
Average-
sweet, give me that sweet red black mage action. Let's go.
That's it.
Red, black, and white. He's all of them at once.
Oh, blue just gets left out then.
No.
one
Blue's
cares
covered in the
about blue
bubbles.
mages.
It's okay. Blue's covered in the bubbles. It's fine.
That's
Yeah,
what I was-
it's all good. And now the sky. The sky.
No. It has to be actually on him, and the bubbles are on him, so it works.
No, yeah, and the grass. Well, that's your green mage. There you go.
No, I was just gonna say he's got like a nice sig in his mouth. That's the green.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Anyway,
3-cost Mayu backup. When Mayu enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 character of 2 costs or less among them to your hand, and return the others to the bottom of your deck in any order. Damage 3, Lightning Dull. Put Mayu into the break zone. Choose 1 forward of cost 2 or less in your break zone. Play it onto the field. You can use this ability during your turn. Isn't the other one just better? The one that searches you out 2 of the puppets?
Although
They
I'd
go in
run
different
this
decks.
one in, I'd probably potentially run this one in Golbez, but you also don't want to run this one in Golbez.
gets targets out of your deck. That's
Yeah.
probably shit with
Exactly.
it.
Yeah,
But
I think...
It,
I feel like this is another one of those cards that is right there.
No.
But not
it's
quite.
not. It's not right there though,
I
because it's
disagree,
just like
yeah.
I'm gonna get a 2-cost card.
The
So
other
But
thing
it's a 3-cost that gets a 2-cost card. It's just like, why didn't I get the 2-cost card first? Why do I have to play this stupid 3-cost to get my 2-cost
Also,
to actually curve out properly?
Also, I'd just rather play a 4-cost Lightning backup that gets me a character from bin to hand.
Yeah.
Like,
the ones that all name clash.
or-
It's just
Yeah.
the unfortunate circumstances of Lightning.
yeah, but, there
Yeah.
are better slots for this choice.
I feel like I read this card the first time and I went through when lands field, reveal a top 5 at a 2 cost to your hand. Went, that's pretty awful. Damage 3, yeah, you're never really gonna resolve that. And then I reread it and I went, add a character of cost 2 or less. It makes it maybe a turn 1 backup that adds another backup to hand. So it's like worst case turn 1, 2 backups.
Because, well, speaking from personal experience, as a man who basically only ever plays Lightning decks, Lightning doesn't have a shortage of 2-cost characters.
Yes.
Like,
Also, the relevant 2-cost characters like Lightning Water and Lightning Wind are the 2. Oh, and Lightning Ice, but Lightning Ice is down the track. Lightning.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lightning Ice is 3 sets behind, unfortunately. But
at least it's catching
Yeah.
up now.
yeah. Lightning Water. There is a deck there. Aphmau goes cool. More Zidanes, more. Because it's 2 or less, it adds Sid Previa to hand. Like you've still got all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Lightning Wind, Adamos is a 2-cost character. Like it's kind of a pseudo search for pretty relevant cards. Water has Tross. Like it's not awful, but if I'm playing Lightning Water, I'm probably playing Mono Water instead. So
And if I'm playing Lightning Water, I'm probably not running this card because there's better water backups.
Pretty much.
it's more if you're playing Lightning Water, you're playing 10 backups. This isn't one of them.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
me wish. It just makes me wish that one of the Aphmals we had an S.
Yeah.
Alright. August.
Or even
6
this
cost-
one had an S. If this one had an S,
Oh, yeah. 6-cost August 10k. During this turn, if 3 or more forwards have left the field, the cost required to cast August is reduced by 6. When August attacks, activate August, and he can attack twice this turn. Use this ability only once per turn.
So relevant part leaves the field, not just dies.
also relevant part, Job King.
Yeah, Job King, so searchable by Claris and Sarah. He's Cat 11, so he's also searchable by Star Bill if you really want. Like, he's searchable by a lot of cards in the right element and category. And
Personally,
genre.
I personally normally I would love me some zero cost 10k.
Yeah, run
It's
it in
just kind of
wind.
difficult to produce zero cost 10ks nowadays.
Yeah,
Like three
Yeah, but,
forwards
again, it
leaving
sorta-
is
it sort of
kind of
points at it.
tough.
It's one of those ones where 5k is relevant, 7k is kind of relevant, 9k is relevant, 10k is like, to kill a 10k means kill a 13k. Like there's no in betweens. So he's at a relevant enough power that 10k is good. 10k is relevant.
If it said 3 or more characters, I'd be more on board with this.
Yeah, I
for
was
3
gonna
or more
say.
characters, no, you just run this in mono wind and be done with it. Like,
Yeah,
So yeah. August is he's
like-
fine. He's pointing lightning in the right direction, but they're being still pretty reserved. So I feel like, again, like how I felt with Mono Ice, Opus 20, if lightning gets half a dozen really good cards, August is one of the ones that is put into the list.
I kind of feel August is a little bit of water. Lightning could hold hands, maybe.
well,
Now
my thing-
let's take a trip back in memory lane back to 2019 and run Rampant decks again.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
But also you have to word like that first part of his effect. If 3 or more forwards are left the field, the cost required is reduced by 6. What that means is it's not so much as if, I mean, it also includes your opponent's forward, so there's that little bit of saving grace. But pretty much he has the same effect as Kefka from ages ago, Opus 4, I think.
Sack 3.
The sack.
Yeah,
That's what I
put
was
3
gonna say.
forwards or monsters into the break zone to cast him for free. Are you willing to sacrifice 3 forwards to play August? At least 2. No.
Well, that's the
That's why I
thing.
like him as a main phase 2 card.
I wouldn't use this. I wouldn't use this as I've sacked or lost 3 forwards. I'd use this as I'm playing bounce synergy. I have bounced more than 3 things to my hand. Cool. Here comes August.
Yeah, but you're never bouncing forwards for free. It always costs. So August then becomes, like Scholar. It's, I bounced the forward to my hand, but I lost a backup, which is worse to reduce the cost of August. And it's not, if August said for each forward, for each forward you have control, for each forward that's
bounce
left the
reduced
field
by
during
2,
this turn, reduced
yeah.
by 2, that would make it much better. But the fact it is 3 have to reduce by 6, that's rough. I
just like the idea of playing him right after playing Susanoo.
Oh yeah, no. There's a lot of good things for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like again, Opus 20. If Lightning becomes decent, he'll be one of the cards put in that list.
Yeah.
But
This
I will
is probably
say
one of the
this.
stronger ones.
He'll be the Braska's final AM, where he came out and it's like, this card's pretty good. Next set we got, a couple of other fire cards that went, nah, BFA is broken because fire is broken.
Yeah.
It's like, I will also just point out, we found our champion level Digimon. If Noel is the rookie, this is the champ, Estinian's the ultimate, and Behemoth K is the mega.
Yeah.
The chain is
Ravana's the
complete.
super mega. There you go.
Chain is complete. All is right with the world.
Hooray!
4 cost Camelot. Forward 8k. Camelot cannot be chosen by a multi-element forward ability. When Camelot attacks, choose 1 forward, dull it. Damage 3, Camelot gets 1k power.
Nope. Next.
Okay, but why though?
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Garuda 3. 10 cost 9k. Warp 5 to Lightning. When Garuda enters the field, break all the forwards other than Garuda 3.
So bad.
So there's this card in Magic the Gathering called Restore Balance, which is basically exactly what this card does. It just says, I'm going to put a clock on your ability to do things for a little while. It's really entertaining when it works. It's really horrible when it doesn't.
This is another one of those ones that I was saying with Setzer. Setzer makes this card playable, but Warp 5 is a lot. No games nowadays should... If you're reaching turn 5, the winner should be pretty decisive, or it's a control mirror, which Garuda's not going to impact.
Yeah. You'll kill like a Titus and that's it.
Yeah, but like, it's just so unplayable every other way that it's an Opus 1 cut. Like, literally, Ultimecia does this.
Yeah. I was going to say...
And it's a 6 cost.
It gives Lightning a board wipe, but at what literal cost?
You're never playing... Well,
you know what I reckon?
You shouldn't be playing Mono Lightning, and if you are playing Lightning, it's with something like Earth or Fire that has board wipes. Like, Garuda's not giving you something you didn't have.
Lightning already had a really good board wipe anyway. It's called Exodus.
And also, I'll point out, like, if this said, if it entered the field due to warp, break all your opponents forwards instead.
That'd be a bit more playable.
Yeah.
It would make it at the very least not hot garbage.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, warp 2, break everything that's not her. That's your opponent control.
3. Yeah, break
I would have accepted warp 3, break all opponents.
Yeah.
I would accept that at this level.
Actually, here's what I would have liked. So there's actually a card in MTG called Greater Gargadon. It's a 10 mana 9/7, but it's got suspend 10 for 1 mana. But while it's suspended, you can actually remove. You can sacrifice a permanent.
I was going to say
remove
that
time counters.
Yeah,
if Garuda had that, then you could just be like sacrifice, like sack a forward, remove a counter, like a warp counter from Garuda.
And then toward that, it would be good synergy with August. We'd have like. It wouldn't be good, but at least you'd have some synergy to point players in the right direction.
And the fact it's a 10 cost 9k to do something that literally every other color can do for less. So you have Leviathan, Shantoto, Susanoo, Titan, every card can do, every color can do this thing slightly better. But the fact Garuda is a 10 cost 9k, you also have to remember, like, other than the warp ability, which is warp 5, that's ridiculous. But 10 cost means at absolute minimum,
you're discarding 3 cards.
You are discarding 3 cards and then playing this. You need at least 4 cards in hand, including this, to cast it.
And as we've said before, the warp can be countered.
Yes,
so if they
and
have
then
an
your opponent goes no. Like, Garuda's just
like
bad.
I like Ami, Fina, Leviathan all just counter this. That's 3 out of the 6 elements.
Yeah,
and then if you go through and go Susanoo, Ice, yeah, sure, fair.
Maybe no, Ice has a Eduardo, bro. What you talking about?
Oh, sure.
All right, moving on from bad cards.
Every other color has a better version of this card.
Yeah.
Without bullshit attached to it. It's Ugh.
4 cost Gilgamesh forward, 7k haste. When Gilgamesh enters the field, you may remove any number of cards in your break zone from the game. When you do so, choose one forward of cost equal to or less than the number of elements among the removed cards. Break it. Damage 3, Gilgamesh gains Brave, and Gilgamesh can attack twice in the same turn.
I really wish this wasn't the Lightning Legend.
Once again...
Could have been Garuda 3.
I would have actually preferred Gilgamesh to be the legend over Garuda 3, but that's beside the point. What, are they signposting for like this really ridiculous 4-element card that we're going to get next set that you banish and just kill whatever you want?
Maybe, but even then, like...
That being
I'm
said...
not being...
Why could this not be an AK?
Can I just point out I mean, the card's not great, don't get me wrong, but in terms of lightning cards, he's a 4 cost 7k haste, brave, attack twice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of 2 costs. There's a lot of 2 costs in the game, so exiling 2 cards of 2 colors.
Yeah, but a 4 cost 7k with haste, that is up there with, I think there's one other card that is a 4 cost 7k haste blank. Like, that's pretty much as good as it comes with haste, which is kind of irrelevant, but you know, just in terms of relevance.
Gonna point
but at damage 3, gains brave, attack twice. Like, That's not irrelevant. It's not
Yeah.
good.
You
Lightning
know,
has
you know
plenty
what
of
my
turbo
problem.
damage and stuff.
My biggest problem with this particular Gilgamesh is that there's a common in fire with almost exactly the same text box.
Doesn't have haste.
Yes, it does. It's Zell.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
Zell. Yeah, but he can't attack twice. Or
can't-
have
he-
break.
Yeah, but
He doesn't have the good things.
I'm like, when it comes to like damage 3 texts on cards like this, I factor in whether or not, if you're thinking from a competitive perspective, I'm factoring in whether or not my opponent's playing around the fact that I have this card in the first place. So if
See,
I'm
I'm-
at, like, if you're setting your opponent from like damage 2 to damage 7, then the damage 3 point is not going to matter.
Well, that's something I've got to say. This set, I feel like it's going to become relevant. Previously, not so much. Damage 3, every single card that has damage 3 printed on it, go back and read and think about what decks you want to put them in. Because this is the set for cards saying, on play, deal yourself a point of damage.
Yes,
Would
Mono
be
Lightning
relevant.
has a whole ass sub theme in this set dedicated
is
to
enough-
self damage.
Yep.
Yes,
I was going to
there's
say
enough cards that say self-damage make damage 3 cards good. Damage 5, not quite as good, but still good.
Well,
Damage 3
them.
cards. Everything with damage 3, your opponent is now playing from 1 damage to 7.
I don't
Yes.
I don't disagree that this doesn't deserve the legend status, but only problem I see with this card, or the only two problems I see with this card is, one, the lightning build around it is what's pulling it down, and B, I don't like the Gilgamesh name clash, but otherwise I like how this reads. I will be honest.
Okay.
You aren't
So-
really playing any other Gilgamesh, to be fair.
Yeah,
But
like,
also,
all of the other
if this was an
Gilgameshes
8k,
are just
4 cost 8k, 5 cost 9k, nah.
no.
It's hard, yeah.
4 cost 8K.
4 cost 8k would have made it slightly better, but even then, it's still a lightning card. Like,
There's
it's a
also
vanilla
something
lightning
that-
card. Like,
This
it's,
is something that literally all of you have missed. At the very least, it's Cat 8.
but that's not.
It is
lightning.
relevant.
No.
They're pushing fire ice.
You missed the other relevant part of this card. It's category
Mobius.
Mobius.
Mobius, I was going to say.
There you go. That's the big deal about this card. Anyway, let's move on from it.
Let's move on to a card that cares about Cat 8 and Lightning. Why not?
Well, that's what I was waiting for. I was going to say, let's get to the Cypher. 3 cost Cypher, 7k. When Cypher enters the field, you may receive 1 point of damage. When you do so, choose one category 8 forward other than card name Cypher in your break zone, add it to your hand. When you receive a point of damage, choose one forward until end of turn it gets plus 2k power and haste. I love this thing so much.
Turbo damage yourself, get that damage 3 for your Gilgamesh. It adds the Gilgamesh back, and also, I'm just giving my entire board haste as well, like incidentally.
I
There's-
like
I feel like
this
the Cat
card
8
in-
suite, this set is very fun, but not quite strong enough. But yeah. go
So
on.
I like this card in conjunction with another card that we'll get to in this set, because that's the fastest way that I can think of to get myself to those sweet damage 3 triggers. But why is it all in lightning when all the best damage 3 triggers are elsewhere?
Because
Because they want to make it hybrid. Lightning X stuff. That's what they're trying to do. Almost every card in Lightning I've read says, hey, I could also work with this color, maybe.
see, at least they were willing to give Lightning a sub-theme this set.
Yeah. Lightning does something for once.
Yeah, no, right.
The lightning sub theme is kick yourself into the nuts until you actually become a good element for once.
Yeah.
Well, they did that with Fire for a while, and it kind of
Like-
paid off.
And let's be brutally honest, Lightning still has one of the best EX bursts in the entire game.
7-drop Odin.
Yep. Just, die.
Right. And speaking of category, 2 cost Sid Kramer. Back up. While paying the cost to cast while paying the cost to cast category 8 cards, if Sid Kramer is on the field, Sid Kramer produces CP of any element.
This would be so fantastically relevant if category 8 was in elements that weren't lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like put this in fire or ice, please.
Yeah, like I would have loved this card in ice specifically, actually,
Yeah.
because that ties in with everything that like everything Cat 8 is pretty much in ice or fire anyway. If this was an ice card, holy crap.
Yeah.
I will
I
say
think they
this-
really want you to play Cypher as Mono Lightning, but with a bunch of random off-color FFA cards. No.
with the Gilgamesh.
No.
That's the joke.
No. Yeah.
But I
Clearly.
feel this still is a card people should look at in case the 8-color spread becomes better.
Yeah, in case they make a bunch of... Well, I mean, to be fair, you have the Selfie as support for multi-element. So if
Yeah.
they make a bunch of random multi-element Cat 8s, then, oh, look out! My Fire Lightning deck's looking so good now!
Yeah, so I think this is something to keep an eye on in that situation for deck building.
If it ever happens down the line in
Although-
like 32.
Although, like, Sid Kramer does make a case for an Ice Lightning Category 8 deck.
Yeah.
And then Splash Fire for any of the relevant things. It's also important to note that this says Category 8 card, not
So
Category 8
your random
forward or
summons and
character.
monsters.
It's any Category 8 card.
Moomba, bro. That's where it's at.
Moving on, 2-cost Sid Sophia EX Burst. Damage 3 EX Burst. So you have to have damage 3 or more to get the EX Burst with this guy. When Sid Sophia enters the field, choose one character in your break zone, add it to your hand.
It's the engineer support I never knew I needed.
I
It
love
is the
Sid
one-
Hayes. He's my
it's the-
favorite
it-
card.
It's the hero we need and the one we deserve.
Yeah. At least it's in the right color this time.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to that self-damage theme that we were talking about.
Yep.
That is true.
But is it going to be like daughter, like father? 2-cost Cindy forward, haste 4k, dull. Choose one forward opponent controls, dull it. If you have received 4 points of damage or less, Cindy deals you a point of damage.
See what I mean?
This
Yeah.
this is the card that I would like to have paired with like all of the like really powerful damage 3 effects, because then it's just like I'm gonna just keep tapping your things down until I get to 3 points of damage, and then I get to play the game.
Hey, look, my Atomos is online. Hey, look,
Hey,
my
look,
Biblos
my-
is online.
Hey, look, my everything's online.
Yeah,
Like,
you
if there was,
Yeah, Spectral Keeper's online, and I also need to point out that Seymour is a card. Stack 7, cost Odin, tap dull one thing, kill another thing, haste your board with Cypher, bash face.
Yep.
this is also a thing that works.
I will make it work. Trust.
2-cost Fujin. If you control
And any thoughts from our competitive board?
Hey guys, I'm away from comms for about another couple of minutes. Sorry, but
No,
yeah,
it's alright.
keep going.
Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
2-cost Fujin, forward 5k. If you control a card named Cypher, Fujin and the card named Cypher forward you control get 2k power. Damage 3. Fujin and card named Cypher forward you control get 2k power. And this forward cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities.
Well,
It's-
just
well,
summons.
For Fujin, it's just summons, and we'll cover
Good job.
Raijin as
Sorry,
well,
sorry.
because Raijin,
Yeah, may as well cover Raj.
yeah, Raijin has exactly the same text box, only it covers abilities. My biggest gripe is that Fujin doesn't protect Raijin, and
Yeah, if
Raijin
they-
doesn't protect Fujin.
If the disciplinary committee protected each other, I would actually probably expect Lightning to be on the top tables, because 1199 can't be targeted. Delicious.
Pretty spicy.
Hold on, I'm
Yeah.
getting up Raijin now.
Yeah, Raijin's basically the same thing, except replace Fujin with Raijin and summons with abilities.
Well, it's not even 1199. It's 99 and 15 for Cypher.
Yeah, so 2-cost Raijin 5k. If you
Yeah.
control a card named Cypher, Raijin and card named Cypher forward you control get plus 2k power. Damage 3. Raijin and card named Cypher forward you control get another 2k power, and this forward cannot be chosen by your opponent's abilities.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
they're meant to
with
work together.
Raijin and Fujin both out with the Cypher, Cypher's getting plus 8k. Which
It's a
is
pretty
kind of
big board.
entertaining.
And
that
I
you-
honestly think it wouldn't have been unfair.
But just to casually have a 15k that's can't be chosen by summons and abilities.
Yeah,
In that defense,
You can board wipe.
in that defense, it's the pack rat system where if you board wipe with damage, them two dying then puts him back within range and then he dies. So it isn't
Yeah, pretty much.
completely stupid.
pretty much.
But
I don't know.
Like as
I
it
just
stands,
wanted more out of my things.
I just wanted them to be good,
why couldn't I have all the limited edition
and
stuff?
like that is a way to make them good.
And they're just okay.
I assume skip on this one.
Yeah, we had this card in Opus 9 and it was like not even good.
The Hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
I hope. Look, I will say now, I hope these Nakwals weren't like big for FF11 players because my goodness, they suck.
I've also noticed there isn't an ice one.
Yeah.
Probably because they were too embarrassed to make it after making all of these ones. It's just like, oh god, these cards are
I
terrible.
guarantee you the ice one would have just been a 3-cost 7k vanilla.
The ice one has standards. Didn't want to be part of the cycle. Anyway, I haven't played the game, so I don't know. Anyway, 2-cost Melisson. Monster. When Melisson enters the field, choose one forward of cost 4 or less. You gain control of it until end of turn. I would like to say this because of the big questions coming up. I know it's been answered, but again, if you're new to the game, if you gain control of an opponent's forward, it regains summoning sickness. It needs to have seen its controller's upkeep to lose summoning sickness. 0 cost until end of turn. Melisson becomes a forward with 7k power, and when Melisson is chosen by your opponent summons her abilities. If your opponent doesn't discard one card, cancel its effects. You can only use this once per turn.
Yeah,
the only one that doesn't have an activation condition, and that's really good.
Yep.
I actually really quite like this particular monster. For multiple reasons. One, I like being able to like play around with my opponent's stuff for a little bit.
Yep.
2, cards like Lady Lilith exist, where you can exile forwards to gain resources. So you just play the Melusine, steal their forward, and then exile it to gain the resource.
Yep, just loot whatever you want. And, you can also dust off some Fanfrits if you want to play Water Lightning.
And the thing that, like, you took
my Fanfrit's already dusted off.
And the thing that it took me, like, the fact that you guys pointed that out to me is you activate this, swing, sack it to the Lilith to make resource, play another one, steal another thing.
It's pretty good like that.
Yeah.
Well, you're only activating it during your opponent's turn, though, to play the next Melusine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
or
that's
block,
okay.
Block or attack depending on what you're trying to do.
You doth not mind.
Yeah. Anyway. 4 costs, Imaginary Despot. It's the next mannequin. Do we want to talk about this one?
Yes,
this is actually
the best one by far.
Yeah.
I was about to say, this is the best one of this set. Yeah.
I have not seen this one, I just read it. Yeah, if you control 3 or more job mannequins, the cost required to cast Imitation Despot is reduced by 2. When Imitation Despot enters the field, choose one job mannequin other than card name Imitation Despot in your break zone. Add it to your hand. Yeah.
It's very good.
Finally, the payoff for mannequins.
My whole thing is, like, this is the one mannequin in the set that's a 4 cost. And then the cost reduces itself anyway, so you don't even feel good playing it off of X-Death. Not that you're playing 6 cost X-Death anymore anyway. Maybe I'm the only one who is, but this, at the very least,
I want to play a 6 cost.
Something.
Let the kiddies have their fun.
I will do no such thing.
No.
I am dulling your entire board and swinging with the Behemoth K. Anyway, this one is easily the best of the bunch. Just because salvage is something that you didn't have a lot of. Like, you were running Kusith, but now we have a mannequin that does it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's also a 0 CP 8K. I like 0 CP 8Ks.
Yeah, 0 cost black belt's always good, especially multiplayer ones.
Yeah.
All right, you heard it first. Mannequins.
Good.
Get on it, folks.
We've done Raijin. Ramu, part of the Exile cycle. Choose one forward, deal it 7k damage. If you do the Exile trigger, deal it 15 instead.
This is by far the worst one.
Doesn't? Yeah, Lightning has all the straight removal, so I don't know how I feel about its damage.
If this pinged 2 things for, like, 9k instead?
Well, here's my thought process on this card. Not just that, and here's the reason why I think it's actually a good card. This is the first Lightning card, I believe, ever that doesn't actually have active in its text box.
Lady Lilith, but also.
The only thing I can see that's good about this is the Ramu that gives summons Lightning summons.
Yeah, it's another card named Ramu for Lord 11.
Yeah, and
I will give
also
it that much.
Exile 10 Lightning cards means you can exile your summons from your bin to then make the 4-cost X-Death possibly better.
I mean, it is in the color of X-Death. That is its redeeming quality.
Yes. And it feeds him. Like, it literally just shoves food in his mouth.
Yeah.
So
Still, the fact that it doesn't that you can actually target dull things with this Ramu is actually quite relevant, and I don't think it should be understated.
It's pretty helpful.
I could, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think this is bad. I don't think this is amazing. I just think this is good tech card that works in X situations. They go in those
a
decks.
card that exists.
But again, I think its also weakness is the fact that lightning is just hurting right now.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's not the card's fault. 2-cost Dragoon, forward 5k. When Dragoon enters the field, you may pay 3 and 2 lightning. When you do so, choose one forward, break it. Damage 3, Dragoon gets plus 3k power and haste.
This card is a lie. It's not actually a Dragoon. It doesn't go in the deck. Let's move on.
Yeah, no, this is the worst Dragoon I've ever seen.
It is a 7-cost choose a forward break. It's an Odin on a terrible body.
Yeah. And also, I'd like to point out, we have like 3 other Dragoons that kill things that are infinitely better than this. Please never play this.
And another 3 set of Dragoons that also have haste without damage 3.
Hang on. Is Alus job Dragoon or card or job?
It's both.
Both.
Okay, so that gives it like.
At least it doesn't whiff off of Al.
When someone first read this to me, I thought they said 2 lightning, and I thought it was amazing at 2 lightning.
Oh, if it was a 4-cost 5k, then I would consider it.
Yeah, but 5 cost.
Even 5. But the fact it's a 7 cost.
Yeah.
Like. This has Ami punishes you hard written all over it. Like this is just.
Let us please move on, so I don't have to look at this garbage anymore.
All right. Well, that's the end of lightning.